Movie time with John DeSando and his friends online. So everything is gonna be just fine. From the top down to the bottom. He's gonna let you know if you should stay home or if you should go. Might even yell if it's a spectacle. From San Francisco to Long Island. 'Cause nothing's better than a motion video.
It's Movie Time is produced and hosted by John DeSando. Listen to broadcast shows Friday at 4:01 and 8:01 p.m. Read reviews and listen to shows online at WCBE.org.
I'm John DeSando,
And I'm Kevin Carr.
and it's movie time.
It is.
Well, it's time for what? The 7th Minion movie? Is that right?
It's the third. I think it's the third Minions movie,
Right.
but it's like the 7th Despicable Me movie because aren't there four
sure.
of them already?
Yeah, right. That's right.
Yeah.
So that would go how many years? But 16 years.
Yeah.
At this point.
Which is actually, that's kind of full throttle for animated films because it takes so long to put these together.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, only competition would be Toy Story, right? With Pixar. What do you think?
In terms of just in the general marketplace,
Yeah.
Pixar is the one to beat usually.
Yeah.
But Pixar used to be like, you couldn't touch it. And now you're getting Pixar movies that don't do as well. You know, you had a string of like poorly run or poorly received Pixar movies.
Well,
And,
we have Minions and Monsters.
Yes.
We'll talk about Illumination a little bit later.
Okay.
At least their long list of movies.
Yeah.
And Minions. Okay, so they're these little pill-shaped, colorful,
These little yellow nuggets
these
in
little
overalls.
nuggets causing trouble all over the place.
Yeah.
Kevin? At 16 years, I mean, I liked Despicable Me.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, these Minions creep in.
Yeah.
So what is it?
Well, I first of all, you either like the Minions or you don't.
Okay.
I don't think there's a gray area. There's not a whole lot of people that are like, oh, yeah, they're okay. Either people love them, or they don't want to spend any time watching a Minions thing. And you got to know that, because if you're one of the latter, don't go see this movie, because you'll hate it. It'll be the worst 90 minutes of your life. But if you like it, it's exactly what the Minions are. They're these little agents of chaos that, since the beginning of time, have wanted to serve a despicable master. And they're always on the look for him. And so this one is, again, one of those stories about them looking for the most despicable person.
So they're really annoying. I think you
Or
said
adorable.
It exactly, or adorable. And I love their snarky little comments.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you just can't beat them, but you can't get them all. I mean, you're going to lose some, right? Because they're so fast.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah,
in these,
yeah. So it's not really, you shouldn't be upset that you've missed it. I'm a word guy.
Yeah.
And I have to adjust myself to the fact that I can't get them all. But I love the way, and it is the director who just does the voice.
Yeah, Pierre Coffin.
Yeah.
I think that's how you say it.
Yeah. So he does the voice, and
He does the voice for all of them.
I know, for all
It's got to be like weeks in the recording studio for him, which is it's his own cross to bear, I guess.
And so they're literally spitting out all this little invective all over the place. They're too small and apparently too young to really be able to do what they do. But they do, and that's the thing that I love about it. It's really adult kind of snark.
Yeah.
With little creatures.
Well, they're older. They're even older than you because they've been around since the dawn of time.
Right. And so on this one now,
Yeah.
they're at the beginning of Hollywood.
Well, yeah, because they look for the most despicable master, and who else is more despicable than old Hollywood studio bosses?
Right? Jeff Bridges is the two.
Yeah, he plays both of them.
He plays two of these moguls.
They're sort of a throwback to Louis Mayer and or the original Warner Brothers. That's the whole thing. They're the fat cats.
Oh yeah.
Because it's during the Depression. Because it takes place. It's right around the Three Stooges era.
Yeah.
The early Three Stooges, and yeah, they're coming into talkies is the whole thing, right?
Yeah, right. And don't you think also it's that they do such a good job with slapstick.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, that's the point. And like the whole thing is they become movie stars because they're insane and they can do all their own stunts. And then they start putting them into like the Minions version of things, like movies. Like they have the whole thing for Citizen Kane, and he has the snow globe, and instead of saying Rosebud, he's like, poop. And I'm like, if you don't find that funny, do not see these movies. But I find that hilarious. I love the little minions.
Yeah, they run through a bunch of them. The Chaplin, right?
Yeah.
I think they're even inside the Lloyd's clock.
What was that? What's that one? Safety Last is, I think, the famous Lloyd's clock one. And yeah, so no, they're very funny, and they speak Mignonese, which is a mixture of English, French, Spanish, and a couple of the languages thrown in, just nonsense words. And it's so funny because if you know any of the other languages, you're like recognizing, and you're like, wait, what the heck? And sometimes they'll say something in full Spanish, like they call the movie Minions y Monstruos or something like that. But yeah, it's absolute gibberish. But that's what's funny.
And now and then a word or two that you know, and you get an idea what they're doing.
Yeah.
And so there's something that's very childlike about them, but something that's very adult. I love the two.
Yeah.
The comments are too sophisticated for little people, but these little kids, are just absolutely armed with invective, and at the same time they're loving.
Well, yeah, they're sweet little creatures, and even the ones that are mean, because there's one guy who's the leader that nobody likes in their group, and nobody likes him, and so, but he's not dastardly. He's just kind of like the manager you didn't like when you worked at, in high school somewhere, and he just took his job too seriously. But yeah, you're right. There's stuff in there, and this is the key to animation: doing something that kids are going to find funny, slapstick, poop jokes, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
But then having a level of things that are jokes that kids aren't going to get. Kids have no idea who Harold Lloyd is. But when they do that visual reference, I was like, that's clever. And they didn't spend time explaining it either. They just drive by the clock.
You are so right. They move it rapidly so that you can't think about, well, how come I don't know what that is?
Yeah.
You just keep going. And because I love their language and I love the way they talk, it's just pleasing, even if you don't get the references.
Yeah.
And you get most of the references. I get some of them, but they're famous.
Yeah.
And even when they did Citizen Kane, I almost died. I said, what nerve.
Yeah. Like the helmet was the greatest film of all time. But yeah, that's the key. And I can't imagine how many times I think it's Pierre Coffin.
Yes.
How many times he's asked in the public to do he's probably very happy nobody recognizes him, because he would be doing minion voices for people's voicemail all the time.
That's right.
But it's clever, and it shows that there's some thought behind it, even though it's just a big chaotic slapsticky mess.
I love, and there's also something ingenious about their bookends, which is they're in a museum, right? And Allison Janney's voice.
Has she been in these before? Because I want to say, because she does a lot of voice work, and I'm like, I thought she was in another one of these movies. Because Sandra Bullock was the boss, the bad guy in one of them.
Oh, sure. All right, yeah. Now, Kev, what happened to me in the halftime? I mean, in the latter half of the movie, I just kind of zoned out.
You can zone out with that level of zaniness.
Well, but Kev, as far as the ingenious first half, then I'm thinking I lost something along the way.
Yeah.
You're right. There's still that brilliance, but something in the plot.
Because the thing is, just in general, comedy can work in small chunks.
Yeah.
And if you get too much of it, it can wear on you.
Yeah.
And with the minions who can't speak recognizable language and who don't really have depth of character, they're just goofy. It's hard to tell a story, and they do their best to do that, but I think that's where the Minions movies struggle. That's where, and I think it's funny going back to old Hollywood and how similar they are to, like, Three Stooges or Harold Lloyd or Laurel and Hardy. Their best work is always going to be remembered as their short films. If I say to you, name a a Laurel and Hardy movie outside of Flying Deuces, it's going to be hard to come up with one.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing for Three Stooges, and they did dozens of them. But you can say, name a bit that they did, and you're going to have a whole list of, you know, the things that they've done. And that's the challenge in going for just sort of comic relief for 20 minutes.
Right.
And then giving a story with characters and an arc that you can follow once you're finished with your popcorn.
So I just didn't find anything in that latter part where they're searching for monsters, right?
Yeah.
And they find some blobby monster.
They look like a baby Cthulhu that they found, voiced by Trey Parker, I believe.
That's right.
From South Park.
Yeah.
Yeah, but and so there was a thing there, but I admit too, I may have dozed at a certain point.
Yeah.
So it is trying to keep the coherent story. It's that second act problems that all movies have, only it gets a spotlight put on it.
Yeah, right. And I think you made the point that I appreciate. It's so intense in the first part, it's almost impossible after they have to be even conscious.
Yeah.
And for them to try to have a serious narrative of some sort is probably a waste.
Well, like the second half, the sort of like the first act conclusion is this giant train ride that goes from a train ride, and they end up in Old Hollywood, and it is absolute madness, just carnage.
That's true.
And it's very funny, but then they're like, okay, we have to tell a story now, and then you get the Hollywood stuff, which is very funny. I get annoyed sometimes when Hollywood gets too introspective, because Hollywood loves movies about themselves.
Oh yeah, they do, yeah.
But I think it worked. Again, like just going off the whole thing of who's most despicable. Well, it's a Bond villain and studio bosses.
Well, Kevin, we're talking about minions and monsters.
Yes.
And what do you advise for our audience?
If you like the Minions, go see it. It's very funny and very cute.
All right.
If you hate the Minions, just avoid it like the plague.
Adults and kids.
Oh yeah.
All right, very good. So, and for our audience, if you want to hear more of Kevin, and everybody always wants to hear more of Kevin,
Not my
you'll
way.
have to go to our podcast, and this is called Double Take, and this is called Back Talk, and you can get this on WCBE.org.
Yeah.
Just go to podcast and you can hear more about it.
It's movie time with John DeSando and his friends online. So everything is gonna be just fine. From the top down